All right, I'll start. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my talk show. I'm your host, That One Rebel. This is my talk show, The Late Night of Rebel, and we're today doing a podcast. We're doing a podcast of a bunch of artists from the VRChat community. So, to my right here is the first guest we have here, and that will be RoseDoodle. Introduce yourself.
Oh, hi. My name is RoseDoodle, and I stream mostly art, but a little bit of VR chat too. And most of my art and stuff is like cutesy weeby style, and I vend at conventions sometimes, and that's about it. That's about it. I like memery and shit posting as well.
Okay. To RoseDoodle's right is BuffPup. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm BuffPup. I do art and sometimes a lot of Animal Crossing lately, which everyone is doing. And just kind of play whatever, and we do VR chat, of course. And I draw a lot of cute dogs and food. I like drawing food. Food is a lot of fun.
Okay, and then on the couch, starting off with Flashy.
Hi, I'm FlashyKlau and I stream art and VR chat. I also do art in VR chat, so if you've seen that spray paint world, I do a lot of spray paints in there. I mostly do art of anime girls, so if that's your thing, then yeah, you got me.
And then last but not least is TeaLeafions. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm TeaLeafions. I'm a plant girl, Pokemon nerd. I do a lot of VR chat streaming mainly. Similar to Flashy. Similar to Flashy, I do art in VR chat, and it's usually like tablet stuff. I haven't been able to much with the index, but I just mainly mostly draw a lot of like weeby stuff as well. I like to do character designs and draw a lot of chibis and stuff. Squishy things.
Okay.
I'm a nerd.
All right. So that's been all the introductions of everybody on this today's podcast. So again, basically, I'm going to be opening up to questions. So basically, just so everyone knows, I will be taking questions from the chat, but it'll be near the end of the podcast. So hold your questions, please, for now. I'm going to introduce all the topics and stuff like that to everybody. So the first topic will be how long have you been drawing for? So obviously, we're going to start with RoseDoodle and work down the line here. So, how long have you been drawing for, RoseDoodle?
I've been drawing, God, for like over 15 years probably.
Okay.
But I always, like, even when I was a little kid, I drew stuff, but I started taking it seriously, like, in like, late elementary school or early middle school. Cause I saw, like, manga and stuff, and I was like, I can do that. And I just kept going ever since.
Okay, BuffPup?
I would say probably 10, 15 years, but I got really serious about it in high school because I saw the friend that I had named Hannah, and she was so good at it, and I wanted to be better than her, and then I didn't be better than her, and then I just decided to do art online for my job instead, going to college. So, and I've been doing it for a long time. It's been really great.
Flashy?
So technically, if you think about it, for me it's been my whole life since, every kid draws. It's just that I never stopped. But if you consider, like, actually kind of seriously drawing, then it's been 8 years since I got my first digital drawing tablet that my dad bought me as a present. It was the best thing ever, and it completely changed my life.
TeaLeafions?
Well, basically, I started seriously drawing when I was around 11 because a weeby friend introduced me to anime, and I was really stubborn, and I got given a tablet, but I never used to use it because I was like, what is this? And I used to draw on like printer paper all the time. I would stupidly trace. It was a stupid thing. I'd stupidly trace, and I was like, no, I'm gonna actually draw. So I'd go like, books and start drawing and learning and watching speed paint, start drawing anime and stuff, and trying to make characters.
Okay. So my next question is, did any of you go to school for art or learning or how to draw or anything like that, or some, or like who's here is like more like self-taught, or does everybody went to school? Um, Starting with RoseDoodle.
I was self-taught like throughout my childhood and stuff, and
Mhm.
like following like tutorials on like DeviantArt and all that like shit from the old days.
Okay.
But I did ultimately end up getting an Associates of Fine Arts in college, which I did find helpful for developing my skills. But I would say that beyond that, everything else has been self-taught. So I learned a lot of core skills in school, but beyond that, like, not really.
All right. BuffPup.
I never went to college because we couldn't afford it in my house, so I didn't really have an option to do it or not. So I learned it myself with my sister, and then I did the same thing as you. I went on like DeviantArt and like found a whole bunch of tutorials and stuff, and just was constantly on the internet and watching like so many different cartoons and animes and stuff, and just kind of going after that. And there was also these manga books. I don't know if y'all remember these, but you can get them at like Barnes and Noble and stuff, and they were like 101 ways to draw anime and stuff like that. I would use those books constantly, and so for the internet, that was like what I really used, and it really helped a lot.
I loved those.
I still have some somewhere in my house.
They're so
Oh
good.
my god, yes!
I love them.
Flashy.
So for me, so in the UK, you can pick what subjects you study around 16. So I chose art, but like they didn't really teach you anything. You just kind of messed around with a lot of different paint and stuff. And then in college, I did fine art, but they didn't teach you anything either. They just kind of made you make things that you didn't enjoy, and I ended up dropping out of that. But now I study video game digital art in university, so they did teach me some basics of anatomy and light theory and those kind of things, but throughout my whole life I've basically self-taught myself digital art. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what else to add.
TeaLeafions.
So yeah, I was basically self-taught. Lots of books, speed paints. I watched a lot of Mark Crilley on YouTube doing tutorials. And also I used to go on this website called iScribble. Basically, it's like drawing.
I got excited.
I used to go on there so much, and I made so many friends. Basically, it's a website where you could draw, collaborate with people, and chat. And I learned a lot from meeting people on there. Like I learned so many tips, so I just spent most of my years on that, and just got better at like little bits. And I also went to like I also chose like art subjects in school. I did it in college. Like our college is kind of like high school, kind of, because it's like college isn't, you know, it's complicated. But it's like the before uni, and it was shit for me. I'm sorry for the language, but it wasn't the best, because they didn't really like it. They were very old-fashioned, but I mean, I did kind of take a break after that, but then I just got back into it because it's just one of those things you always have an itch for. Yeah. I'm gonna squeeze.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. Do you, for everybody here, do you guys have any tips for anyone who wants to get into drawing or drawing anatomy and things like that? Like, what would you be like your number one like go-to? Would you recommend like YouTube, going to school, art books, just winging it? Like, what would you recommend? Starting with Rose.
Okay, so the first thing is there was this thing I saw like on DeviantArt or Tumblr when I was younger that really stuck with me, called the shrimp method. So basically, you take something that you want to draw. So let's just say, for example, a shrimp, and you're like, okay, I want to draw that. So you start off drawing it like just how you see it in your brain, and then you go and you study the ever-loving crap out of it, look at pictures of it. If you have an aquarium, go to the aquarium, look at them, blah, 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 blah. And you start taking pictures and references and stuff, and you just keep drawing them over and over and over and over and nitpicking the ever-loving crap out of it. And eventually, you'll be able to draw it without looking at the pictures. And it'll just come easy and naturally to you because you know in your head exactly how it's supposed to look. And that's usually what I recommend to people who are trying to learn how to draw something that's kind of like difficult to them but still learnable. So yeah.
Okay, Buff.
I would say the same thing. Practice, use reference. I know a lot of people are scared of using reference and stuff because, you know, you don't want to trace something or whatever out of, you know, respect. But, like, always have a reference, even if it's for, like, grass or, like, something simple that you think is, like, so easy. And always ask for help as well. We have the internet. When I was a kid, I literally couldn't ask anybody for help. And I had to do it myself, and I literally couldn't figure out anything other than tutorials on DeviantArt. But we have, like, the whole internet now, so don't be afraid to ask for help. And there's a lot of people, especially on Twitter and stuff, who do art, and they're very nice. So.
Yeah, true.
Flashy.
Adding on to the thing with references, you can even, like, if you struggle with hands, you can definitely take pictures of your own hands, like, put them into weird positions, take a picture, and then look at that picture. If you can't find a reference on the internet, that's always really good. But, yeah, as they said, the internet these days has so many tutorials, like, on YouTube, on DeviantArt, and even Twitter. Every artist posts their own eye tutorials, hair tutorial. It's really, really easy to look for if you want to look for a certain style or something.
Wait. Okay, Leafons.
I mean, well, it depends on what you're wanting to learn, but if it's something like you're drawing people, I got taught this from college, like, if you're even if you're a bit shy, I'm very shy, you could probably tell. If you, like, sit somewhere, like, outside, maybe in a park or something, you just have a little sketchbook, and just kind of look at, like, the way people move or something, and you just, like, try to sketch that, like, really quickly. Like, I'm a slow artist. I don't know if that's, like, a common thing, but, like, I like to take my time because I'm kind of picky. But it really helps with, like, to kind of speed up to, like, understand, like, you could make a shape of something, like, basic, like, sketchy lines of someone really fast. And you could, the more you do it, the more it's gonna look like, yeah, basically, like what they said, like, even if you do it, like, really simple, just simple shapes, you understand the form more the more you do it. And you could be really abstract, you could do anything with it. Just look at the way things move. I know there's a lot of good references on the internet, and it's really good for what you don't have. Like, if you're not near a park or something, but, like, if you have the opportunity to go on a walk, I think, like, it really helps, especially just looking at, like, perspective stuff as well. Like, you can look at things from different angles, try to sketch that. It's great. It's great to do.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Next question I have written down here to discuss with everyone here. How has your art changed over time? I think general consensus that most people improve over time, right? Of, like, anything. But has your art style changed? Like, have you started with, like, a very simple style? Have you, like some people go with, like, watercolor, some people go traditional, some people go only digital. Like, how has your style changed over time?
Oh boy. Okay. So I think when I first started drawing, I was really into Inuyasha. So I was like, I want to draw in that style. So I would try and emulate that style a lot, as well as Hamtaro stuff. So a lot of my art was really, really inspired by that originally, until I started getting a little older and a little more into the weeb stuff. And I feel like as time went on, for a long time, it just got more like anime and cutesy until I went to college. At which point it became super, like, leaning towards, like, realism, because that's what they made me do in school. And then after college, I was like, nah, screw this, back to anime. And now, like, everything I have is, like, giant heads, big sparkly eyes, cute, soft everything. So I went from, like, cutesy to black and white, like, realism stuff, to vomit all the colors onto the page and bada bing, bada boom.
Buff?
So in high school, I had a sketch pad, like a notepad. So I would always use Prismacolors and, like, inks and stuff, and that was, like, I was so excited about that. And so I would do cartoons and, like, have, like, really bold inks and stuff like that. And that was my entire down through high school, and then after I got out of high school, I started doing like really highly detailed anatomy work. So that's actually one exciting thing that I think I got out of learning from myself, is like learning how to do really good anatomy. And then within the past 2 or 3 years, it just all went downhill. Now I just draw like cute animals and like stupid little like birds and food and just like cutesy stuff, and it just all went out the window. So, but I'm happy about it.
Flashy?
So I started out as a very big Sonic fan, so when I was little, I would always play all the Sonic games, and my parents bought me this CD with like 15 Sonic games on it. So eventually I was like, damn, I want to make my own characters. So I started making Sonic OCs on paper, and I would sometimes like trace the laptop screen. Don't do that. But yeah, that was when I was really young. So while I was in school, I would only do drawings on paper. But then when my dad got me that tablet, I thought, wow, what is this? So I started looking at YouTube tutorials, and then from that point on, I only did digital work. Apart from the things that I had to do for school, which I never counted as any of my art because I just hated it. I hated all of it. But even though my work has been digital for like 8 years now, I have been trying to branch out, and I bought some watercolors and watercolor paper to try that out. I guess I kind of like it, but I haven't really done that much of it because I don't have the time. But yeah, that's really fun.
Okay, Leafons?
Well, I used to draw so much with, like, I don't know why, I was so obsessed with the invention of a mechanical pencil. Like, it's so thin, and I was like, haha, it's just like anime. I could be like, whoa, and draw like really thin anime lines, and for some reason, I was so obsessed with, okay, it was weird that got me into it, but Daft Punk, like, Discovery, like, the animated movie had like the best anime style. I was like, oh my god, I really love space and this style, which really got me into anime. So I started drawing all these characters in space with this freaking mechanical pencil, and I was like, and I got given these fine liner pens, and I was like, I can make bold lines, and I was obsessed with all these lines. And then when I got more confident with digital stuff, I was, I don't know. It was very blocky, and I was never good with cel shaded, which is just kind of the way like it is in anime. It's just like few shades, and then just more as I just got on for the years, I really loved kind of one layer painting and the way things blend. I just love that sort of stuff, and I did try a lot of painting with like watercolor pencils when it came to traditional stuff, because I liked the way it smudged with the water. But I love digital painting sometimes. It's nice. Smudgy.
It's awesome. So my next question is more related to VR chat. So obviously all of you are artists in your own respects and regards. But how has being an artist affected you when you play VR chat? Do you draw in like the presentation room? Do you go to like graffiti world? Like how has your art translated to VR? Like you know what I mean? Like do you draw like 3D? Do you still draw in 2D? Like I'm just curious to know.
For me, it's first of all, the graffiti world and presentation room plus are like heaven. But I definitely still draw in 2D, though when I first got VR, I was super fascinated by being able to like be like, I can make a cube, hee hee hee, cause like it was like that 3D like Doodle pen that came out forever ago. And I was like, yo, it's just like that, so I don't have to pay for it, ayy! I was just making like all sorts of weird shapes and stuff. But then once I got over that, I was like, okay, I'm just drawing like normal, and I would go up to like strangers and just like draw them, and they'd like, you know, freak out because they liked it, or like I would like only communicate with like drawing and stuff sometimes, just because it was more fun that way. Like just because, you know, when you have the ability to draw, you can communicate a lot better that way than just like writing or whatever. So it was always fun to like kind of mess with people in that way. But other than that, I would say I usually just stick to like drawing like normal and just like kind of like using like the pens in presentation room plus and like playing with all the colors and stuff, or just like painting actual graffiti, because that is so much fun. Holy crap! But yeah.
Buff?
I would say the same thing. I don't really draw much in VR chat, although I have to say that we have this perk where if you save like 100,000 points or whatever from being in the chat, I'll draw you something for free. And the other day, I did it in VR chat, which I thought was really cool because I haven't done that before yet.
Ooh.
So drawing in VR chat was super duper duper fun. But I'm in the same way as Rose. Like, I literally just go in and there'll be like a bunch of people and I'll just draw something real quick. And then people will be like, oh my god, that's amazing. I'm like, man, it's nothing. And then I'll just walk away. But like, it's just, I don't know. I want to get into like the graffiti stuff because like I see so many people making cool things or like the 3D things and making like models out of the pens or whatever. The only thing I can do is just put people on blankets and draw pillows and stuff, and then that's it. But so I hope to be able to make something. I think it would be really cool.
Flashy?
When I first got my VR, I didn't tell my best friend that I got it, and then I invited him to play. And, like, it was, like, the very first 5 minutes that I was in VR, right? And he recorded the whole freaking thing. And the first thing that I did was I drew a cube, like a 3D cube, and I was so excited about it. I was, like, screaming in my room, like, whoa, look at this! I just drew a cube, but in 3D, how cool! But your presentation room was one of the very first worlds that we found. And I spent so long in there just doodling with all the pens, thinking, whoa, how crazy is it that I can do things in 3D? But I haven't actually settled to do like a actual thing in there, like an actual drawing thing. I was thinking about it, but it just seems so difficult to draw something in 3 dimensions. So I've been sitting around in the graffiti world. I actually did a spray paint yesterday of a username of someone from my chat. Yeah, I've done a lot of paints in there now. I think I've spent so much time in that world I can't even count it. It's so much fun, although it takes a long time. And then my hands start hurting from holding the spray cans for like 3 hours.
That's dedication right there.
Yeah.
Oh, Leafions?
Well, since when I got VR, I have been trying to draw with the Pres Room pencils and pens. Like, I do love them. I have to draw some chibi faces, but they're so thick. This is gonna be taken out of context. It's a bit hard to control for me. But I have recently discovered, is in a few worlds, they actually have a graphics tablet in VR chat, and I've been in love with it. Like you can grab it around as a pen, and there's like a slider. It doesn't have layers, but there's like sliders and colors, and I'm drawing on this tablet, and it's kind of it's really difficult to control because you have to kind of grip it like it's like that, and draw like that. But it's takes some getting used to, but it's been so fun. And also there's this world, I think it's called like Just Paint or something.
Yes.
It has pressure.
Yeah.
It has pressure. It has
It's so
brushes
good.
and pressure, and I'm there like, I don't know. My mind's blown, and like I haven't really done anything fancy on it yet. But like, there's even like a little bit blending, and my heart. I love my blending, and I'm like, ooh, but I'm obsessed with that. And I don't know. I used to spend a lot of my starting streams just doing that and doodling like, I don't know, a silly chibi face or something. Didn't have the patience for a full thing yet, but it's just addicting. It's addicting.
Can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
There's also this world that's like got like this giant wall, and it has like paintbrushes and stuff, and the paintbrushes have like dynamic bones, I guess. And like when you paint, like it brushes on just like an actual paintbrush would.
Yeah,
It's so cool. It's crazy
amazing.
cool. I haven't, like Leafy said, I haven't had the patience to draw anything properly in there because in VR it's so much harder. But I've done some like chibi doodles in there. It's so fun, especially since you can draw with your friends and it doesn't lag as much as the graffiti world does. Since for different people in the same instance, the drawings can look different. But I guess VR Chat fixed that in the update now, so it looks so cool. You can collab and everything.
That's awesome. So, just since a lot of you guys did mention this, yes, I did make Presentation Room Plus for those in the audience who don't know anything about that. I made that world. That was all me. Though I did not make the pens. That is a prefab. For those who don't understand what a prefab is, it's a download. Pretty much you just download it and you just put it into the world. So I have the same pens. They're over there. They're called QV pens. They're from, I think, Booth. So a person from, I think, the Japanese community made that. It's really awesome. Though my world's kind of outdated. I need to update it. But I'm planning on updating it, probably getting better markers, because I heard, like you, all of you mentioned, is like there's this like canvas thing, so I could put it on the giant on stage, where you can have like a giant like. That's what I'm planning on doing, is hopefully putting like putting paintbrushes up there, so you can just draw on the stage there.
Oh my god, yes.
So
That'd be so fun.
that's what I'm thinking of doing.
That's a lot of people's first world, I have to say, when it comes to art.
Yeah.
Is that was definitely my first world that I went into
Mm-hmm.
when I saw that,
Yeah,
that you could
same.
use pens. So it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm just surprised, because like when I made Presentation Room Plus, I just did it. Because I didn't like how small the world was. I was just like, man, this world sucks. It's so small. So I was just like, I'll just make it bigger. I just feel like, hey, I could do it. I can learn how to make worlds. So I did, and I just made it larger and stuck a mirror in it, and now it has like 600,000 visits and 5,000 favorites. So apparently a lot of people like it. And then I added the friends wall and then the waifu wall. So yeah, a lot of history.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, moving on to the next topic. What is something you want to improve on or learn nowadays? Like, all of you guys have drawn your own styles, but what is something you want to work on or learn? Like, maybe you want to learn a certain style. Maybe you want to learn, I don't know, more anatomy, or, you know, what do you call it? Like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Theory, stuff like that.
Yeah, like color theory and stuff.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like color theory is one of my strong points, so not that, but the thing, this is gonna sound so weird. Like, don't take this out of context, but I cannot draw feet for the life of me. Like, human feet.
Okay.
At any semblance of an angle except for really straight ahead. They are my nightmares. And shoes? Like, no.
Shoes.
I can't stand them. I can't stand drawing them. I always try to avoid it unless I want to practice explicitly. The rest of human anatomy comes fairly easy by comparison, but for some reason, like, ankles and feet just do not jive with me. I just can't do it. So that's something that I want to focus on improving. And aside from that, like, backgrounds, like buildings, like nature, that kind of stuff, I tend to shy away from, but I do want to tackle them and, you know, at least get some sort of balance between my portraits and backgrounds so that I can squish them together a bit better.
Okay.
But yeah, that's about it.
Buff?
For the past, like, year, almost a year, I've been making face rigs, like live 2D face rigs and stuff, which is like 2D animations, but they use your webcam and stuff, and it's really cool. And I want to get better at, there's like an animation program inside the live 2D program, and you can put those animations on top of the face rigs to make them like do like dances and all this other stuff, and I really want to get better at it. I'm like, I barely have touched that part of it, and I really think that if I tackle that part of it, I think I'll get better at that whole section. So that's something I really want to work towards this year. And for actual drawing, buildings, cars, you know, background, the typical stuff that every artist hates, you know. So I'm gonna try to do those better this year.
Flashy?
If we're talking about 2D artwork, I feel like I really want to get better at backgrounds. I'm kind of okay with outside backgrounds, like trees and flowers and that kind of thing, but I don't think I'm good with, like, showing the depth and, like, making it look nice as a piece, like, on a whole. I have, like, my own unique style for characters, but not backgrounds, and I always am too scared to do any buildings or, like, indoors, rooms, and that kind of stuff because of all the perspective. So I feel like that would be something nice for me to work on, but it's so hard and I don't have the time to learn more since I am studying 3D art right now. So I'm learning how to model and texture things. Most of my time is spent on that. So I've only been working on like like items, like furniture, that kind of stuff. But I'd like to learn to model characters as well, probably starting with some easy chibis or something, but that would be really cool. I think.
Okay. Leafons?
Oh gosh, my biggest flop is hands. It's they're chibi hands are way easier for me. So with like emotes, it's like I can just, but getting those sort of joints and stuff, it's so fiddly, and I don't know what fingers are anymore. They're cursed. But another big thing is like perspective, and like I always draw the similar sort of angle. Like I do it slight differently, but like I want to get really dramatic with some angles. Like I would love to do like a fight pose maybe, or like something silly like someone's dangling off a tree, and I just want to make it look not so flat, so there's more depth and story into my drawings, because they're just character, and I just want more to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be a little bit different question, but I just thought about this. So when I first started playing VRChat, I actually made my primary, like, I guess OC was a male, and when I actually got around to like getting emotes commissioned or art of my character, I found it very common that a lot of artists, at least maybe just in this community, maybe I'm just wrong, but a lot of people don't like. Oh, what just happened?
Oh, she might have crashed because
Oh.
she had crashes before. Oh no.
Oh well.
Oh no.
Well, hold on. I'll get her back in here. For those who they can't see what just happened, but RoseDoodle may have crashed. She was looking at me and then crashed. Yeah, she evaporated.
She just started screaming and just go.
Damn. I thought that might happen, but don't worry about it. We'll get her back in here.
Now we all need to draw our variation of Rosie popping.
But to finish off my question, we'll get her back in here in a moment. Basically, my question to everyone here is, do you, as an artist, do you prefer drawing specific types? Like, do you prefer drawing chibis or males or females or animal creatures, stuff like that? What I found was that when I asked a lot of artists, a lot of them are like, oh, I don't draw men. I hate drawing men. I prefer to draw women. So I'm just kind of curious if any of you guys have any like specific, like, I really want to draw this particular thing, and that's what I like to draw, and I don't want to draw like other things, if that makes sense. Starting with Buff.
I personally like drawing just like really cute stuff. Like if you give me like a chibi character or like a really cute animal or just all that stuff, those are like my favorite things, because I love like Hamtaro and like just like super cute anime and stuff. But a lot of the time I get commissioned, which is I find funny, I get commissioned for a lot of male things. So I'm not used to drawing female stuff. So that's like what I find funny, is that like I'll see a lot of my friends, they're like, oh, I hate drawing guys, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like the easiest one. Because I get commissioned for that a lot. So I think that I would like to draw more women, I think, this year too. That'd be a cool thing.
I'm a woman. Anyway, sorry, I'm Flashy.
So I draw a big variety of different things. I started off by drawing Sonic characters, and then I started drawing ponies. And then one of my friends was like, hey, you should draw anime. So then I started drawing kind of humanoid characters. And yeah, I guess you can say that I definitely like drawing girls more, because that's the thing I've been drawing the most, since my character is a girl and I have a lot of girl friends. So I've just been drawing those a lot. But I don't mind drawing boys. I think I'm kind of okay at it since I've been practicing recently, but I kind of feel like I'm kind of meh at everything. Like, I could probably draw a furry, but maybe not as well as I want to. I don't know. I guess my expertise is female girls, I guess.
Leafons?
So I used to draw mainly just girls because I was like, oh, they're just the magical flowing hair, and I was obsessed with drawing hair. But I've been trying to get into drawing guys more because of like some friends OCs, and been working on, the dual line differences, and the bodies are difficult. I mean, I'm kind of finding it easier to draw a male body than a female's because boobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Boobs are evil. But I'm mainly kind of just, I don't know, my free drawing is just kind of like really silly chibi things. I don't really color it much. Just Doodle stuff is just blobby chibis because I just like to draw really silly things sometimes. That's just my comfort. But full drawing is mainly female, but I draw more guys now than before.
Okay. So, RoseDoodle, oh, you crashed, so that was unfortunate. But anyway, the question was basically, do you have a particular type of art or style? Like, what I mean by that is, like, do you primarily draw girls, guys, cute things? Like, because, like, for example, when I started playing VRChat and getting to commission artists, I noticed that when I wanted to hire very specific artists, they were like 90% of the people I asked are like, oh, I don't draw dudes, or like dudes with beards. Like, I don't draw any of that stuff. So, like, do you have it, like, are you against it, or like, do you have a preference of like what you would like to draw?
Oh yeah, I definitely am very, very strongly leaning towards cute stuff, cute girls, Pokemon, like anything in that vein is like very much my jam. And I'll draw like guys with beards and stuff like that, but I usually won't accept stuff that's like heavy mecha stuff with like detailed weapons, and especially with emotes, one of the things that I tend to tell my clients a lot is less detail is more with emotes, because if you like start putting ornate like patterns or anything like that, it won't ultimately translate into the tiny size that emotes are. But beyond that, I'm pretty open to doing most stuff, especially with emotes, but I definitely prefer cute, round, soft things and girls and animals and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah.
Hey, now I'm a hot anime thick waifu, so I guess I got lots of more opportunities to hire people. It's actually funny because the moment I switched and rebranded my whole channel to being this character, I had artists all over. They're like, "Oh, I really want to draw you," or like, I even had people that were saying, "I want to cosplay." I was like, "Wait, what? Like, what?" I didn't get any.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm just saying, just play a high anime girl, play cutesy magic girl. It's worth it. Trust me.
Sailor Moon it.
Yeah, Sailor Moon it.
Yeah.
So my next question is, I guess, a little more serious topic. So obviously, all of you are artists, and each of you do commissions, right? I think, right? Every single one of you does commission work. Has there been any times where you've had to deal with someone being difficult, like in terms of maybe they want to like be like, oh, I don't like this, or like redo this, or revisions, or they don't pay you, or any like issues like that? Like, tell me some stories about maybe you have issues with people and clients and things like that.
I've personally been pretty lucky. I occasionally have a client who will like here and there they'll like want like way like compared to like a normal client, for example, who wants like 1 or 2 revisions, they'll want like 10, and I'm like, holy crap! Like if it gets to a point where you feel like they are asking you to do something that's not within your style or like your art, and it becomes something that they want that's like completely not suited to your work, so it gets kind of frustrating. But I think that at the end of the day, you should know before you accept a client if your style's gonna suit what they need, because they should be telling you in depth at the start. And then the other thing is when clients come to you, sometimes they don't like know what they want fully, and I'm happy oftentimes to help them figure it out to an extent. But it's kind of frustrating and really time-consuming to have someone come to you and not have any idea what they want, not even know their character, not know any details whatsoever, even expression or anything, and expect you to figure it out all for them when you don't know their brand or what they want to portray or convey or any of that. So then it becomes way more time-consuming than the payout is worth. So I feel like that's probably my biggest struggle with like certain clients that I've had in the past. But it's really, really rare even for that to happen. Most of the time, my clients have been really accommodating, friendly, clear with what they want, and I haven't had a lot of issue. But I've heard of a lot of my friends having way more issues than I have. And I've never had any issue with anyone like not paying or anything either.
Okay, Buff?
I haven't had any like horror stories or anything. I've definitely had people where like I will send them a whip and then they'll be like, "Oh, that's good," and they won't look over it. And then by the time I'm basically done with it, they'll be like, "Oh, well, that's wrong, and this is wrong, and that's wrong." And I'm like, "Well, I sent you the whip like 6 times." So, and I think that gets really frustrating is when people don't pay attention to like what you're sending them because that's the whole point of the process. And I also think a lot of the stuff that I've had happen has been like minor things throughout the years. I've been doing commission work for a really, really long time, and I think a lot of the little things kind of add up to make like your TOS. So now I have like no issues. Like I'm not going to do the work until I'm paid fully. I'm not going to do this. You get like 3 revisions unless something is like seriously wrong. So like I think a lot of the stuff that I have now kind of prevents those bad things from happening. But I've never had like anything serious before. Super bad happen, which is I'm so thankful for. I can't. I've seen horror stories. I've seen such bad stories on the internet. I can't even imagine.
Also, I agree with the TOS thing a lot. Ever since having a TOS, like stuff has been so much smoother. If you're taking commissions, please have terms of service with it.
Yeah, even if it's not perfect at the beginning and you like kind of like fix it every once in a while, like just start having one. Like even if it's super simple.
Yeah.
Like.
Okay, taking over to the couch, Flashy.
So I don't really do commissions now, but I do like Patreon art for my patrons. So I've not really had any bad experiences. A lot of them are just really nice people. And even if they don't really tell me what they want, they kind of tell me like a vague idea. And since like they've been my patrons for a long time, I basically know them very well, so I can draw something for them that I know that they'll like. But there has been this one person that subscribed to my Patreon for 1 month, and they subscribed to a tier which got them a chibi. But they messaged me and they were like, "Hey, can you do a headshot?" And I was like, "Well, I'm really shy and awkward," so I was like, "Yeah, okay, I guess I can do you a headshot." But then they asked for this really awkward, like, Disney star, and I was like, "What is this, kind of some fan art?" It was kind of awkward, but I guess I did it since they paid me for it. It was strange, but it was fine. I've not had any horror stories of anyone not paying me. There was that one time I made some emotes for someone that has previously bought emotes from me, so I trusted them already. And they didn't pay me for a couple of months, so they needed reminding, but everything was sorted out. They just had some like life issues, which I completely understand is fine. Yeah, I guess. But if I didn't know them before, then yeah, I guess I would have talked to them more often, but since they already talked to me before and commissioned me before, I trusted them a bit more.
Leafons?
I think that's it. Sorry.
So I used to do commissions, and I wasn't ready for it. I was not ready because I made the mistake of, in my head, I know I could do it, but realistically, I didn't know my own comfort zone with how to draw. So I'm really slow paced. And of course, with commissions, you gotta have like some sort of pace. Like I had no pace. I was just like, oh no, this is difficult. I don't know. It's something about the pressure of drawing a specific thing. I just have like I can't. It's so tricky. So I used to do commissions, and I used to have a lot of people who were just like, I don't know. They're kind of like I'd have a chibi thing, and they'd want me to sexualize the chibi, and I thought that that you're meant to kind of keep a chibi as this.
That's a
Thing.
yikers.
It's like, oh, make it thicker and stuff.
What
like,
the heck?
No. Yeah. So I think that sort of thing was just like, that kind of put me off it really. I just kind of thought, okay, nah, I'm just gonna stick to my own stuff, and I'll just work on friend stuff to help them, and occasionally do some fan art, because I should set, like, if I do commissions, I'll set like a thing. But I think my main problem is I'm so slow paced, and I would feel so bad if I did something too slow. Because I don't know, I'm always just too much of a perfectionist. I just like think, oh no, it's not enough, and then I spent like a week on something that's like so small. So I don't know. I don't know if I could do that
Can I add
again.
something again?
Sure.
Sorry, I keep like thinking of things after I already told. I wanted to add to the thing with the weird Disney character that I was made to draw. Sometimes some people come to you without like a character or idea, and they're just like, I want you to draw me. But then they don't give you any ideas of what they want the outfit to look like. So I always, like in my TOS, it always says I need a reference of like the character, or if it's you, then like a picture, and then the outfit that you want, and like your eye color, because sometimes from pictures you can't even tell what your eye color is. But in artwork you can definitely tell what the eye color is. So you need those kinds of little details, and like if you have freckles or not. Sometimes if people don't have like pictures or anything, I tell them to like go onto Pic Crew and make an OC or something just to get an idea before I make anything, because like character creation commissions are like its own thing completely, and that's not something that I would like to do since it takes so much time and energy and like so much work with someone, you know. I don't have the time for it, but I'm sure there's like many artists that specialize in like actual character design for people. That's that.
I get what you're saying. It's unfortunate that, like, I guess judging from everyone's stories here, that the one about like the sexualizing chibis and stuff, like I've heard of stories like that quite often, where people will like, they'll start off like a really basic commission, and then they'll start like adding these really weird moments. I think there was a famous video that someone made where it was about like a person buying bread. Yeah, it was like about like this person who like would hire a bunch of artists to buy like Wonder Bread or something like that, and it would get like really sexualized. Yeah, it would get like, they loved Wonder Bread. Wonder Bread was like that was their thing. Wonder Bread.
Yeah, it was like this. They would commission this girl, and she would be walking down the grocery aisle just buying Wonder Bread, and that was like her thing. And then like she would be eating the Wonder Bread, or she'd be watching TV with the Wonder Bread. Like that's all she would be doing, and that was like what they got.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds kind of fun to draw.
Wonder Bread. But the weird thing was that I think it was on 4chan or something, but the person who did it would hire like hundreds of artists, like literally like every artist he could, like all the big ones. He would hire all these artists, and then he would just like draw this. Then you just get like really cutesy stuff, and then you get some like weird like what's they doing to the bread? Like it was like weird. It was like a whole like copy pasta or something. It was like the weirdest thing. Oh, you're some weird. There's some interesting people out there in the world. I mean, Wonder Bread.
But see, now they're famous because now
True.
we're talking about them.
Yeah,
true. It was.
It was worth it. True.
Oh my god.
Anyway, next topic. So I didn't want to bring up that story. I don't know, it was just interesting. So a lot of you, when you guys take commissions, do you take the full amount up front? Because what I learned in college, this doesn't have to pertain to like artists, but I took a bit of marketing in college for interactive media design. That's what my diploma is in. If you don't know what that means, it means making websites and stuff. Anyway, so what I was told was that the best way to like, I guess, not get scammed or like have to deal with like issues is take 50-50. So obviously take 50% up front, and then when the job is done, you take the other 50%. Would you recommend that, or do you think your style works of just, you know, if it costs $50, you pay $50? Like what would you guys recommend as artists who take commissions, or just deal with payment in general?
For me, I would say absolutely take at least some money up front. Usually because of my art, usually people only buy like a couple things at a time, and it doesn't end up being too expensive. I usually request payment up front. But if I have a first-time client or something, and they're feeling a little nervous, and they don't want to pay the full amount because they're afraid of being like scammed or something, then I'll let them pay half up front and then complete the payment before I do the official line work and the coloring. So I'll give them a sketch for the half price and then after that, when they pay, I'll finish the rest of it. But if someone has like a really large order, I would consider taking like a payment plan or something if they can't afford it, depending on if it's a client that I've had before in trust, or if they seem suspicious. Like, it really depends on a client-to-client basis, but I would say absolutely, no matter what, take at least half of the well, not myself personally, but too many artists I see on Twitter, on all sorts of social media talking about how they got someone that has them doing like a billion revisions and a bunch of art, and they finish it all up only to hear, oh, I can't afford it anymore. And then you're like, well, now what?
Oh,
So
no.
you need to make sure you got you taken care of first.
I understand. Buff?
So I won't do the work until I'm 100% paid, but you don't have to pay it like right away. Like if you want to pay it like 50 now, 50 later, that's completely fine. I just won't personally do the work before it's paid. And I also don't do the work until a month later because PayPal has this thing where somebody can like refund the money, even if it's an invoice. And it's like very strange. A lot of artists have like a lot of issues with it. So if you at least wait like a month, then you're in the favor of PayPal. And if they ever like try to like charge it back, then you're in the favor like, hey, they paid me like a month ago. So I always have those rules set in place that I get paid first and you wait a month until I start working, just so I have my butt covered.
That's really smart.
Yeah. Flashy?
Yeah, that's smart. I didn't even know about that. It's basically
Yeah.
all that Rose and Buff said, but if it's like something small, like I guess like an emote or something, I'd probably take the full price up front because it's just so tiny. Maybe after doing a sketch for them, that's what I used to do when I did emotes. I would tell them the price and then do the sketches, and if they were happy with them, then I'd take the payment up front. But I don't do commissions anymore, so I don't really have much to say.
Refunds?
Yeah, basically that's what I used to do as well. I used to, like when I did commissions, it was mainly just chibis, so I thought, my thing was just, I'll sketch it first, see if you like it, and if you do, I would take the payment then, and then finish it off. I was kind of cool with like changing as much because I was kind of a doormat, but that's another story. But yeah, that's when I'd usually take the payment, and then I'd just finish it up and say, hey, there you go. If it was something bigger scale, I used to just do like a headshot or something. Sometimes I'd take the payment after because I'd take more time with it, just to say that, just to see if they were happy with everything. I should have done the smart thing and like cut it or saved it, because at the time I didn't know anything about PayPal refunds. Like, oh gosh, I know of it now, but yeah. Yeah.
I wanted
Oh my gosh.
Don't worry about it. I wanted to actually talk a little bit more about what Buff said about like the waiting 30 days for PayPal. I never really thought about that. Like, I guess for me, because I just primarily just stream and do Twitch for fun and do this talk show, and obviously I do get people who donate and stuff like that, support the channel. I never really had issues with like chargebacks. I think because I use Stream Elements now, I don't use Streamlabs. I think on Streamlabs or something like that, I think you can take credit cards, but I think on Streamlabs I disabled that because I think credit card fraud is like pretty regular, that people like use that or charge back more times on a credit card than on debits or PayPal money. So I think that's a good idea to like wait 30 days. So I think I'm gonna start doing that now that you mention it.
Yeah.
Though, anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I had somebody charge back like over $500 once for work. And
wow.
So
what?
The only reason why, it was a long time. It was like 5 years ago, like a super long time ago. But that's the only reason why I know about it is because I had to go through the whole process of like, hey, I did this work for them and like this and this and that, and I did it within like 2 weeks. And they're like, well, we suggest waiting 30 days because that's when we can put it in your favor and stuff. And then they went through like this whole thing and stuff. So that's the only reason why I know about it. It's something that's not common, and I'm really angry that like they don't tell you that. Like, you should know that. And like Twitch doesn't save you with that, and like so it's kind of like up to you as an individual to like kind of put those rules in place, which kind of is a bummer.
I get you. That's interesting because like there's definitely some people in the VR chat community who are streamers who have had issues of chargebacks, which really sucks because some of my friends actually don't even have donation buttons anymore because like they been like abused where like someone will charge back like $5,000 and then they'll donate $5,000 and charge it back, and then if you charge it back you get a fee. like a 1% or 10% fee, and it makes if they keep doing it, they can actually make your funds negative. That actually happened to I believe some big streamers like Summit or something like that, or XQC or any like the really big streamers. They got donated like $50,000, like in what like they caught like 10,000, 10,000. They were like, oh my god, and then like very quickly they're just like this is not legit. Like there's no one that would give me 50 grand. Like what the heck? And then they would get the fees of like chargebacks, and it would be like 100. So like they lost like $1,000 in their bank or more than that just from chargebacks. So
Jesus.
it's a really big issue that happens. So that's why I don't like accepting credit cards at all. I just say, hey, you gotta have PayPal or debits. I think that's what I think I have it set as. So
Totally understandable.
or I think a lot of people to avoid that is some people only accept bits and subs because then it goes for Twitch, and Twitch ain't going to screw you over. If someone gives you 100 bits, you get that money guaranteed. They're not going to mess around, it's very safe. But anyway, we've been going for just under an hour now, so I think it would be wise to start taking some questions from the chat. So if anyone has any questions for any of us or any art questions or anything like that, if any of you want to put my chat in your hand or use OVR drop or toolkit, you can do so and look at my chat and then take some questions. So yeah, or if you have any questions for me.
The first thing I see is what Pixel said. These dumplings are as thick as me.
Hey.
Oh no, Brian, no.
How many burgers can BuffPup eat in one sitting?
4.
Okay, is that with bun or just the burger itself?
It has to be with bun. You can't.
Okay.
It has to be with a whole bun.
Damn. Favorite chicken nugget shape? RoseDoodle.
If they're talking about McDonald's, it's the boot shape. The boot shape.
Okay.
Absolutely the boot.
I have to agree with that.
They're the best ones by far. They got a little nib you can bite off.
Honestly, I've never even thought about that. You're totally right. Little boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last
I've had a long time to
time
think about it.
I've had chicken nuggies. Cause I'm allergic to eggs. Oh, she's gone again. Listen, I said I was allergic, and then she just. It's true.
Nuggy talk.
It's the nuggy talk. If you're talking about nuggies, you just die. Anyway, really quickly. I'm allergic to eggs, so I don't remember the last time I had chicken. Because the chicken nuggets is chicken. And I think the what do you call it? The stuff around the chicken nugget. What do you call it? Like
breading?
the breading is made of eggs. So I don't think I've ever had chicken nuggets. No, I definitely had in my lifetime, but I'm pretty sure I can't eat them.
Have you ever had? You should try vegan chicken nugget.
Yeah, I could do that. I eat meat and everything. I just don't eat eggs because I'm allergic. But like I've actually had vegan cookies. I'm telling you, it tasted like sawdust. I was like, what am I eating? There's no flavoring in here. I was just like, like I put it in my mouth. I'm just like, oh, like it was like out of 10, it would be like a 3 out of 10. Like it wasn't like vomiting, but like it was just like there's no texture. It tasted like sawdust. I'm like, how does a vegan or like someone who was it wasn't even made with flour, like it was gluten free as well. So like it wasn't even made of, like it was like some alien creation. I was just like, this is what am I eating? Yeah, I don't know how I survive. Eggs, a lot of protein. But anyway, we'll take some more questions. Unless anyone sees any questions, because I'm just one person here. So there might be some. I'm coming back. Yeah. She'd be coming back. Rose. Keeps popping. Yeah, desktop mode. There we go. I got it.
Favorite ice cream is a question. Can I answer it?
Yeah, sure.
I have a very specific answer. Right, so there's this one specific ice cream that they sell in Aldi. It has a very awkward name, but it's called Cheeky Monkey, right? So it's chocolate ice cream, but it has like toffee sauce and like marshmallow sauce and then chocolate chunks in it. It's so freaking good. I'm telling you,
sounds
it's
so
better
good.
than Ben and Jerry's. It's just so good. Aldi ice cream.
Oh my
I sound
God.
like an ad.
Sponsored by Allie Ice Cream.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Welcome back. You said chicken
Thank
nuggies
you.
and then I died.
Oh my god! Wait, what was the last thing?
The
Did
last
you not
thing.
hear me talk about boot nuggets?
No, you're talking about the boot nuggets,
no,
and
we
then
heard
and then
that.
I said I'm actually allergic to like eggs, so I can't actually eat chicken nuggets. Let's eat vegan ones.
No.
I know.
Horrible. I'm so sorry, Rebel.
Yeah, I remember. Imagine like having a birthday and then like never eating cake, and then like when you did as a kid, you would throw up and get sick, and then my parents would be like, "Why is
Oh,
this kid
gosh.
like getting sick every time it's his birthday?" It's supposed to be like the one day where it's like, "Oh yeah, it's your birthday." And it's like this kid's like dying. Like, whoa, what the hell? I didn't get diagnosed until I was 18. Imagine that.
Jesus.
I'm almost 25 now.
18 birthdays of getting sick.
Well, I think until I was like 13, I had normal cake, or I didn't eat cake. I just eat ice. I just eat like vanilla ice cream. Everyone's having this cake. They're like, "Oh, the cake is so good," and then like I just be like, "Yeah, I don't want any cake. I get sick all the time." They're just like, "You're weird."
Oh my
Yeah,
god. No.
feels bad, man. Anyway, ice cream cake. Yeah, actually, I eat ice cream cake. Have any of you guys have ice cream cake before?
Oh my god,
so
yes.
good.
It's really
Get in
good.
my
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
I need to.
Oh,
I need
so
to so
good.
much.
Oh, so good.
What is your?
To mint choc chip.
Yeah, I'm addicted to chocolate ice cream cakes. What is your guilty pleasure creation that you've made? Something that is silly but you love.
God. You know what? I don't have
What
any
is
guilty pleasures, but I made this frog that's based on eggs, and I named him Freg.
Oh, I love him.
Okay.
And he's
so
just a squishy, soft-boiled egg frog with a like gooey yolk for a tongue. And it's not a guilty pleasure at all. It's probably one of the weirder characters I have. But he's just a cute, squishy, froggy baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it, though.
I have this really bad problem with buying OCs and then drawing them once and then throwing them in the dumpster. And then that's my problem. It's so bad. I literally do it every single time. I'll be like, this thing is the cutest thing. I love it so much. And then I'll draw and be like, okay, I'm done. And then I'll just go into a folder and then we'll never see it
Did
again.
you? I'm sorry. Did you say buying OCs and then throwing them in the trash? Like, what do you mean by buying? Am I hearing wrong? Like,
So people make like characters
Yeah.
and they'll sell them for like $10 or something like that.
Oh.
And then you buy them and so you own that character and then I'll draw it
mm-hmm.
and then I'll get it all out of my system and then I'll just like forget about that I had that character and I'll just go into a folder.
Okay.
And I have a really bad problem with doing that. Like I'll buy so many. Like I don't even know how many I have. I have like 100. It's really bad.
Interesting.
Oh my god,
I
100!
I never really I didn't really know that was a thing, like buying people's like OC, like you own the right to like this character. I think there's one person
Yeah,
I've
it's just,
ever
like,
seen do that. I think their name is Fiship or Matilda. I think they like do auctions. Like they'll like it goes up to like $1,000 or $1,500
holy crap.
for like one character, and I'm just like, what the heck? But like they're all monster girls, so you get like Moth Girl and like Candle Girl or something. It's really cool, but like I'm just like, holy smokes, like $2,000 for like an OC. I'm just like, what in the world? But then you own that, so I guess I mean, you know, right?
Yeah, and I think as an artist, you kind of get like the liberty to like draw it, and you can do whatever the heck you want
Yeah.
with it. So it's like even more of a reason to buy one. And so like, I mean, I won't buy expensive ones. Like they're like $10, $15, $5. The most expensive one I probably bought was like $20. So they're not super expensive, but I definitely have an issue with buying them and then drawing them once and then forgetting about them. And it's really
Damn.
bad. And I feel really bad because I like them. And then, yeah, it's a sad story.
Would you ever sell one of your own creations?
Oh yeah, I think I have before. I think one time I've got commissioned to like just make creations and then throw them out. Like, oh, I want like a I don't know anime girl with like cat ears and my favorite color is black, and then I would make the character and then I'd be like, okay, here you go. So
Okay. Any more questions? Sorry, I'm trying to read questions, but some of them are like really long and like I'm struggling a little bit here. So if anyone sees any questions in the chat that you would like to answer, just I guess blurt it out and just be like, hey, this is a good question. Or if anybody has any questions here, you want to ask anybody, the floor is open. Also, if anyone's curious, like who's that person over there? That's my camera person. They take pictures for me because they have a very special avatar. It's Pixel from the chat. They have they bought the camera lens from the booth and pretty much allows them to take really cool pictures in VR. So, yes. Whenever you consider drawing something outside of your comfort zone, not always has to be adult, can be anything, just an experiment. Like for me, I'm experimenting with gore.
I like drawing out of my comfort zone, but I don't like taking commissions out of my comfort
Okay.
zone. So like when I'm sketching and goofing off, I won't.
Yeah.
Typically, like that's the time like that I'll use like the time when I'm doing stuff just for like shits and giggles. Basically, is when I will do the weird shit and experimental stuff, but not with commissions because that's someone paying, and they're not paying me to practice. They're paying me to make them a product. So yeah.
I agree, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what they said.
All right. What was the most challenging commission they had to do?
Oh, I had to draw a motorcycle once, and it was literal hell, and I hated it.
Oh,
And it was like, it wasn't even just a motorcycle. It was like at an angle, and it had like smoke coming out of it, and it was just like gun bullets were coming off of it, and I was just like, I'm gonna do this for fun, and then it was a bad idea. So.
Oh.
Oh my god. I think the hardest thing I ever had to do was they wanted like Warframe characters, which is like so far removed from my typical style because they don't have like cute anime faces. They don't have like cute outfits. It's just like all geometric shapes, really masculine body types, and like very rough, hard stylization in general, which is so opposite to what I do. So I really struggled, but the client was happy in the end. So, I mean, it all worked out. But oh my gosh, it was so hard.
Anyone else have anything to say about that? Like doing something difficult, like out of your comfort zone?
It was difficult back then. I don't think it would be now since I've practiced a bit, but back then I had this like Valentine's Day commission with this couple under a tree and like the sunset and clouds. But back then like I didn't really know how to color the clouds since sunset clouds can be like crazy colors, so I kind of feel like I messed that up. But yeah, that was 5 years ago, so that's way in the past now.
Okay. This comes from Hard Try Rockets. I don't know if it's already been asked, as if I was AFK. But Rose and Dude, do you believe in terms of your art? Do you still believe that you're good where you are, or do you like want to improve? Like, do you feel like you can improve your art over time? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you good where you are, or do you want to improve more or spend more time?
Well, I'm content with where I am, but I think that everyone, no matter how good they are, like, has something they can improve on. So while I'm happy with my work, I do seek to improve it. And I even look at stuff from like half a year ago to 12 months ago, and I'm just like, I am so much better now. And I just like, I see the like style shifts and changes, and like, I think that happens to every artist. They just kind of improve over time without realizing it until they look back. And I want to keep doing that, and I want to make sure that every time I look back on my art in like 6 months, there's something that I like more. So I do think that I strive to improve, and I think that everyone should strive to improve to some degree.
Leafons? Or anybody else?
So, I mean, with me, it's just like I've always thought to myself, oh, I must not be improving like at all, because maybe it's like even just a simple thing is flipping the canvas, you could see the differences. It's like, what? And it's just like, so every time I draw, I'm like, oh, I'm barely improving, and then I just look back to even like a month ago, I'm like, wait a minute, and I just see like all these like improvements. I'm like, wait, what? So there's loads of things I want to improve on, because of course, like I always nitpick. I'm like, oh no, the hands aren't, or the face isn't detailed enough. So of course, like over time, like things like proportion and just adding more to it. Like I still feel like my drawings are kind of flat. I want to add more to the story of it, so I have loads I want to improve on. So hopefully I'm gonna try work on it more and be more patient, because I'm impatient, and see if that improves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Can
Flashy.
I say something?
Yeah.
Sorry. So as I said, I work on 3D things now for university, so I don't have that much time to think about improving my art. I just kind of draw what I feel like it to relax instead of like drawing as a job or something. But even if I'm not looking to improve my 2D artwork, like since I draw basically every day, obviously over time you're gonna improve no matter what. Even if you're not looking at improving, you will improve. Since as an artist, I still follow a lot of artists on Twitter, so I keep looking at art every day. It's just being shoved in my face every time I look at my phone. So even from looking at art, you pick up little things, and you're like, oh wow, I like those eyelashes. I'm gonna draw eyelashes like this now. And you start picking up these little things, and overall you'll like eventually build up your own style and something that you like to draw, even if you're not like specifically hard working for it. I hope that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. So another question we have here. So I understand there's so many questions here. I can only have so much time. As artists, what is your future of art? For example, teaching, advertising, or just for fun? So basically, like, do you have goals like the next, like this year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Like, do you plan on teaching maybe one day, like going to like college, university, and teaching people to draw? Do you planning on like going on beyond and doing something else, or just doing what you love? Like, what's your goals? That's for everybody.
I always thought that I wanted to be in game design, like do like concept art and stuff, and like that's been my dream since I was a kid. But the more I get older, the more I just like what I'm doing, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, and I'm still trying to figure that out. But realistically, I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying where I'm at right now because I'm in a really lucky spot with being able to take commissions and stream and stuff. So I'm kind of just enjoying that now until either things change or things stay the same. So I'm not really too sure.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am too. I'm very happy with the balance of like streaming versus commissions that I have. And and I like making emotes and like that kind of stuff. So I feel like even if that's not what I always do, there's gonna be something similar in the future that if it changes that replaces that. So I'll probably just end up gravitating towards whatever that is. But I think I always just want to keep taking commissions and like maybe character design or something occasionally. And I kind of want to get into 3D modeling, but it's really intimidating.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
So
That would be super fun.
Yeah. It's like, cause I see like all the cool models that people make for VR chat and stuff. I'm like, man, I want to do that. I have so many ideas in my head, but I don't know how to execute them because I don't understand the programs and I don't take the time to like learn them, and I don't have all the time that I want to learn them. So it's like one of those things I want to make time for and maybe like become like adequate at in the future. But for now, I'm just like happy where I am.
Anyone on the couch have anything to say?
I'm pretty much the same. I'm happy where I am, but I am studying to get a job in the art industry somewhere maybe. But who knows what will happen? I don't know what will happen, so I guess I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and keep hyping.
Yeah, me too. Like, I used to want to be an illustrator or an animator. God, I can't even do animation at the moment, but like, I used to just love like that sort of stuff, or want to make designs for like a storybook or something. But I guess it kind of, that sort of motivation kind of went a bit shallow during college time. But I don't know, at the moment I just like my comfort zone of just trying to draw and get better. And I guess the thing that I love the most is just drawing friends. It's cheesy as heck, but it's like fun, because especially if they want something done, I'm just like, I want to do that. I get so much motivation. It's like, I want to try that. And I don't know, it's just fun to do, and it helps me improve, and just, I don't know, just like fan art and little things. And I would love to get back into commissions when I get more confident and faster with everything. So even if it's a tiny step, a tiny goal, I think it might be fun to do one day.
Mm.
I agree.
So some of you guys have mentioned about 3D modeling. I have, I guess, a little experience with this. So I actually went to college for 3D animation and character design in my local college, and I actually dropped out. Dab. The the reason why I dropped out was because the last time I actually, as an artist myself, like, well, I don't really consider myself an artist because the last time I drew something, technically, it was 10 years ago when I was in high school and I took art for 2 years. So I was like, oh, I only needed a diploma in something to be in 3D animation? Okay, I'll do it. Everybody else in my class was a graphic artist or a graphic designer or had an art background. I was one of the few people that my background was making websites. They're like, what are you doing in this class? Like, shouldn't you like do something? But like, they didn't. They.
Oh my god.
But I mean, technically, you could take the class. All you needed was a diploma in anything, like literally anything. As long as you had a diploma, you can be in this class. And they're teaching from a very basic standpoint of how to draw like anatomy and like hands and feet and whatever. And I was doing the best I can, but I was only getting like 50s and 60s. And I was just like, oh my God. And then I had to like, I bought a tablet. I tried to learn 3D modeling. I was so lost. I was like, you had to draw a skull from scratch, like morph like a ball, a circle into a skull with teeth and everything. I was just like, what? Like, whoa. I was like I was just dying. I was just like, and then I dropped out. But I feel like, judging from talking to you, everyone here, I do think that if any of you probably took the class, you probably would have done a lot better than me and probably would have learned a lot in 3D animation. I didn't. Now in office administration, so I guess I went from 3D animation to being a secretary, so or learning to be one. So I can type real fast on a keyboard and talk. That's basically my skills as a person. But
I wish I could type fast.
I mean, I don't know. It's like 80 words per minute fast. I don't really know.
Holy crap.
I mean, in my class, I'm getting like 95 in my typing class, and all you need to write is like at least like 20 words per minute or 30, I think, is like the requirement to like pass or something. So if you can type faster than that, then you're fine. Anyway, speaking of like OCs and 3D modeling and stuff like that, did any of you here, I guess separate, besides myself, does any of you guys like want to learn 3D modeling, or are you content with like your model, your avatars is what I'm talking about? Like, are you content with what you have to represent yourself in VR chat, or would you like to commission or learn how to make stuff basically? Or just pay someone, commission someone and be like, I really want, like, for example, I don't know how to do 3D models, so I paid someone to make this, my OC, and had it made from scratch.
I love the model I have right now. It's a low polygon, but I retextured it myself. And I had someone modify little aspects like the flower hair clip and the tail and stuff, but I don't know how to do that stuff, and I'm fine with paying people to do it for me. But I would like to learn more about how to do it myself so that I don't have to rely on others or like have any wait time on it or anything. Because at that point, then I can just be like, oh, I want this really ridiculous thing. And I can just whip it up and be like, bada bing, bada boom. And just like have whatever the heck I want. Because I constantly want to like upgrade things and like have like different versions of my model and like that kind of stuff. So it'll be really convenient to learn for that. But beyond that, I just want to like learn 3D modeling because it like seems like it'll be fun to make worlds and like accessories and stuff too. But I don't think I ever want to do it for like a job.
Yeah, I agree. I wanna learn how to make, because I didn't do this either. I had commissioned somebody to do this. I think it's the Nanachi, I think is what it's called. But so I want to do 3D stuff because I want to like change outfits and like have like different expressions and stuff, and like I don't know. I have like I said, I have a whole bunch of other characters that I think would be really cool to have in VR chat as well. And I have done a little bit of 3D modeling, but it was in like some sculpting program. It wasn't like Blender or anything, because those are completely two different. Like sculpting something with like a ball and doing it like that, and like doing polygons in Blender are like two different things. And I think I would be really fun to like learn Blender and stuff, because I see a lot of my friends like for like Halloween, they'll like make like Halloween stuff for like their room, and like they'll have like little Halloween outfits and stuff. And I think that's really cool. So like I want to do that, but yeah, I think one day we'll have the time.
The couch. Anyone Any comments about making like
Um,
paying or making your own OC or learning how to do it?
Well, I can make objects like chairs and stuff, but I've never even attempted to make a living kind of creature. So, if I wanted my actual character to be accurately made, then yeah, I would definitely commission someone. I love commissioning people because even if I could possibly do it, I still like to commission people since it takes the weight off of me if I don't have the time. So I commissioned half of all my emotes since I just didn't have the time to make them. But I guess in the future it would be really cool to learn to make avatars. But they are so complicated and so difficult. Like watching people like Shanzo and Kinda, it's just goodness, it takes so long. We really appreciate the effort they put into it.
Leafons?
I had a moment of wanting to make an avatar from scratch. Like I was like, oh, you can mold and make it your own style, but I installed Blender and such, and I was like, nope, no, I'm not touching it. But my lovely friend makes mine and my friends' avatars. But I've always wanted to collaborate with someone who really likes to make avatars. You might see like a lot of avatar words with the same sort of bases and similar designs, and I'm a bit salty about it because I like designing characters. I mean, I don't draw it enough anymore, but I love sort of like designing characters in my head. Like I like designing, like, I don't know. It's a nice idea to like. I sort of thought about designing characters, and we'd have it in like a world or something, and people would make avatars based off the drawings or such and such, or design, I don't know, just people's OCs. Like I don't know, design my friend Koyo's OC, for example, and I don't know. It's just so fun to think about, but I need to find someone who really likes just to pump out public avatars, and I'll say, oh yeah, sure, I can help you with that idea if you want. I don't know. Just a little thought in my head. It might be fun.
I get what you're saying. I think Buff, you were talking about. I think what you're mentioning is ZBrush. It's when you start with a sphere. Yeah.
It was either ZBrush or there was some other program called like Sculpt Breeze or something like that. I don't remember what it exactly called, but it was one of those.
Yeah, because I have ZBrush, and that's why I used it when I was in college. That's like the primary program, and like so I think Substance Surface Painter or something like that. There's like all these programs. Yeah, there's a lot of good programs, and yeah, let's just say I struggled. I tried to make a skull, and like teachers like, "What is this garbage?" It's like, what do you do? It's like some deformed like it had like it's like some deformed like golem. He's just like, dude, that doesn't even look like a human. It's like, what'd you make? Some like orc skull? Like, what is that? And I'm just like, please, why you bully me, man? What the heck? And then I quit, and I was just like, and then I was like, screw you, teacher. I hate you. And then now I'm in office administration, learning to write emails. Wow, I can write emails and take phone calls like a secretary. Pog. I mean, he was brutal, but he was honest at least, you know? He wasn't like going to sugarcoat him, but like, oh, that's totally legit. Wow. Like I said, I just feel like, from my experience, I should have drawn a lot more. Because like everyone in my class had a portfolio. Like they've been drawing for years. They all have sketchbooks and stuff. They asked me like, "Where's your sketchbook?" I'm like, "Oh, it's at home." Wink face. Huh. Totally.
Then you could argue that like, have you ever seen the show Face Off, where they have like they do like sculptures and stuff of like for people? A lot of the people in Face Off, and they make like what's it called, prosthetics and stuff. They can't draw at all. Like their drawings are like so bad, and they can only do like 3D stuff.
Really?
I always find it interesting when people like actually can't physically draw, but they can make like really good stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of like that, because like I'll give an example, right? Like, so I know Unity pretty well, so I made this world. I made it in a couple hours, so it's kind of like rough around the edges, but it does its job. I know how to make worlds in VR chat and like do stuff like that, like world creation. But when it comes to like avatars, it's a little more complicated, so I don't really do that stuff. But I can do gestures and stuff, so I know how to, like, for example, I added like this ruler to my avatar, and now I can pull out the ruler and start. Yeah, like I learned how to do that. I did that all by myself. So I know how to do. So I learned how to do Unity and doing gestures and things like that. That's pretty easy to me. I know how to do like basic texturing and stuff. But more advanced stuff like avatars is a little bit harder. It's actually interesting because when I talk to like avatar creators like Shanzo and stuff, they're like, oh, world creation is like the hardest thing in the world. Like avatars, that's super easy. I'm like, what do you mean? Like world creation's easy. You just take a block and you just put a texture on it, and you're like, oh, I made a house. You know, haha. It gets, I don't know. I guess it really depends on who you are, right? Like to me, world creation's easy, but like I guess to you guys it would be really hard. But art is really easy, right? So like it's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
Since we're almost nearing the end here, we're going for almost an hour and a half now. Any last minute thoughts, comments? Anyone wants to bring up any topics to talk about anything? No? Okay. I don't know. I just wanted to ask in case anyone's just like, oh, I really wanted to ask this thing. Anyway,
How about that weather?
the weather? Hey, it's pretty nice where I am. It was like 16 degrees Celsius. So what do you mean?
Don't know. I haven't been outside in like a month.
Oh, true. I mean, going out in my backyard counts, right? So
Technically.
yeah. Just so everyone knows, I apologize if I couldn't get to your question. There's like a million questions in the chat, and I can only read so many, and so much time in a day. So I apologize, but I'm sure if any of you asking questions and wanted to ask like RoseDoodle or Buff or TeaLeafions or Flashy any of these questions, I'm sure they would, answer them on their own streams or DMs or anything like that, Twitter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Though I just saw my husband in the chat saying, "Beepu, marry me." He's sitting like 5 feet away from me. We're already married.
Do it again.
Okay, fine. We can get married again if you want.
Hey, you can get VR married. What do you mean?
Yeah, we can get married in VR chat.
Yeah. Married in VR chat. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think we'll close it up here. So what I'll do is I'll go down the line here. So I'll start with myself. So again, I'm your host, That One Rebel. I do this talk show almost every day. So I have some people lined up for tomorrow, like Artsy. I'm going to be interviewing them tomorrow. And Thursday is with Fizzy, aka Fur Trap. And then have some other stuff. So anyway, again, I'm your host, That One Rebel. This is my talk show, Late Night Rebel. And then going down the list here, starting with my right again, is starting with RoseDoodle. Tell everyone about yourself if you have any plans, future projects. Basically, plug yourself, essentially.
My name is Rose. I like cute stuff and shit posting, and I stream on Twitch 3 days a week, and I take commissions for emotes and other cute crap. I don't really have any crazy plans for the future right now, just kind of stream VR chat and art, but I post a lot of it on Twitter and stuff, so yeah.
Buff.
I am basically a pop that is buff, and we do video games and sometimes do artwork, and that's basically it. So, if you want to see a buff dog play games, and laugh at them, then that's what we do. And then sometimes we'll do artwork in VR chat.
Flashy.
I'm FlashyKlau. I stream art and VR chat. I don't have any plans for the future. Just kind of going through life, doing what we feel like. But I try to keep it nice and calm and friendly for everyone.
TeaLeafions. Oh, sorry. Were you? My apologies, Flashy. Were you still saying anything? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I don't have any.
That's so nice of you. I'm a giver too.
I'm TeaLeafions.
City_VR gifted a tier 1 sub to Doug Artie.
Because you do an art stream, I'm kind of clumsy and awkward, so you can kind of tell I keep pressing buttons here. But,
You sure like spreading your load
I
everywhere.
like drinking tea.
Thanks, darling.
I'd like to have a good laugh, so you're welcome to join and have some fun if you'd like. I don't know if I have any plans though.
Okay.
Maybe a long stream soon for once.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Extended stream.
Wow.
Spicy.
Well, I think I just hit a milestone here because officially I just hit 300 subs
Yay.
total. Apparently, it just happened. So
Hell yeah.
hell
That's
yeah,
what's up.
there we go. First time, by the way. I think like a month ago, I think I had like 200 was the most I've ever had, and then now 300. I don't know. It's just up and up. I don't know. I guess I'm doing what I love, and here I am. You know. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But before any of you go, I'd just like to say thank you so much for coming by to my talk show. I really do appreciate it. This is a podcast. I don't normally do them, but I thought about doing and bringing a bunch of artists on to talk about art. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Before you go, what I like to do is my good friend Pixel over there, the one sitting over there that's very tall and very thick. They're going to be taking the picture of all of us together. So, yes.
Damn, I got a good angle.
Damn, girl.
So that's what's going to be happening, and then after that, I guess I'll talk or hang out for a little bit, and then we'll. I guess if any of you guys have any recommendations who I should rate or host, and if any of you guys want to start streaming, I'll rate or host any of you if you want to. But anyway, well,
Oh my gosh, it's 1 a.m.
yeah, it's pretty late. Yes. But yeah, thank you so much for everybody for following and subscribing during the everything. Just thank you so much. The preparing. Are you ready? Yeah, they're getting ready here. So basically they have this very particular avatar which allows them to take pictures. So if anyone wants to get off the chairs here and then just I guess like stand here or something. Or around me, I guess. I guess I'm the tall one here. The only issue is
I
like.
could become taller.
True, if you want. I mean, I can get down. I can just like crouch down like this, I guess.
Oh, hold on.
I don't know.
It's like mom taking a picture with the kids.
Yeah, I'm your teacher.
Basically.
Awkward posing. I can't pose.
No one says cheese. Cheese.
Cheese.
VR chat. 1 month, buddy. I don't know. You ever notice that when people play VR chat, whenever someone takes a picture, no one says anything. They're just staring at like a blank camera. It always happens. Like, what happened in real life?
I always smile in real life when I do that.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
that. I was like, I smile in VR chat, but no one can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, where's the face tracking in this game? Please. Eye tracking, please. I mean, there's eye tracking, but you know how it is. All right. Thank you so
Sometimes
much.
I stick my
Whoops.
tongue out, but no one can
Oh
tell.
my god.
Oh yeah. All right, 1 second here. I need to switch off the camera. Now let's see from my first-person view. So the pictures are done. So any last thoughts you guys want to say to the people? They can see from my eyes now. Anything at all?
I could see a whole bunch of cuties in your eyes.
Cute.
Oh, am I doing something? There. Did that fix it?
No, there's just a whole bunch of cuties in your eyes.
Oh, yeah, of course. You're the
Wow,
real
look at all
cutie
of
here.
them.
Oh yeah.
Look at all those cuties with those chickens on the bed in there.
Oh my.
Oh, that whistle.
That was pretty good.
Damn.
Damn.
Thank you.
So I guess I don't know. Do you have any questions for me? Like anything you want to know? Like I guess you can. Oh hi. Do you? I don't know. You can like look at all the people I've interviewed before. I don't know. Like what else? You guys want to?
Have you had any weird interviews and you got off the interview and you're like, oh, that was awkward?
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to name anybody, but
Yeah. That's definitely happened out of 130 something I've done. There's definitely a couple, at least like 1 or 2. I'm not gonna say names obviously, but one of them, yeah, it was just pretty awkward. Like I went in like low expectations, and then like just like they would say like these really edgy like jokes. I'm just like, you know we're streaming,
Oh,
right?
no.
Like, ooh, I was like, yeah, it went down a dark path. But
Oh dear.
any other questions?
You ever
Yeah,
whoop
dude.
anybody with that ruler?
Yeah, I could whoop you real quick if you want.
No.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Not me.
Well, it's for discipline, you know? Sometimes people are baddies and they need to be smacked. You know? I want to see that now.
You sure like spreading your
Whoa!
yarn everywhere.
Whoa, Ryan with 50 subs? What the fuck? Holy shit. What the fuck? Oh my god.
Go.
Ryan.
Yo.
Yeah.
Dude.
Bruh.
Wait,
Bruh. Literally bruh.
Bruh.
Liddy.
That's a bruh moment. I'm kind of just. Thank you. Honestly, that's never happened. Like, what the fuck? I think the most I've ever gotten was like 20. You know, like what the heck?
This is
Jeez.
Rebel's face.
That's a lot of burgers.
Yeah, it's my face. Honestly,
Oh my god.
thank you so much. Don't threaten me. Have a good time. Well, I appreciate that. He's insane. He is
How many
insane.
tacos are you gonna buy with that?
Bruh.
I don't know. Lots of tacos, I guess. Would
Depends where you get them.
would you guys be down to like do a future interviews, like you know, more artist interviews
Yeah.
or
Hell
hangouts,
yeah.
stuff like
We
that?
need more
That was really
people.
fun.
We need an army.
Oh god.
Artist army.
Just get
Artist
like
army.
just get like 30 people in here and be like, let's go, guys. Yeah, I could do that.
A musician one and a singer one and a
Oh yeah.
We should do.
And, like,
I think next time.
dancers.
I think we should do like an art contest. Like you give us something to draw, and we all have to draw.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Well,
yes.
speaking of art contests, I did mention this to you in the group DM. I might as well say this to everybody. I'm planning on doing an art contest in the near future, so not like right this second, but in the very near future, maybe in a couple of weeks. I'm planning on doing an art contest for $1,000. First place gets $400.
Bruh.
Second place gets $300. Third place gets $200, and fourth place gets $100. And the contest is basically just draw my OC. I have a bunch of different outfits so you get to choose from, and then just draw it whatever style. It can be a chibi, it can be headshot, it can be full body, it can be whatever details you want, and I just choose the winners. And yeah, I want to
That
give
sounds
back.
so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
That's so cool.
I did one art
Yeah.
contest before last year. I did it for $400, and then I wanted to really up my game, so I was like, let's do $1,000, and then go from there. Maybe the next one would be like 5,000 or something. I don't know. Just fuck it. Honestly, just give away. You get a car. You get a car. The Oprah of
We'll get
your
a
chat.
PlayStation.
Yeah, you want a PlayStation? So I want to give back to the community because I don't know, like I don't really draw. I've kind of flunked out of school for that, so I wanted to give back to people that actually spend the time to learn. So yeah, sometime in the near future I'll do that. But anyway, thank you so much again for Ryan. The 50 bomb. I was not expecting that at all. Like Jesus, thank you so
Yes, I
much.
got one of them.
Yes, dodge.
Yes.
I guess one last thing I'll mention before I raid somebody. I'm actually getting a new talk show world. It's in the like the process of being made. I commissioned Legends. I don't know if any of you guys know who Legends is, but he made the Neko Sister Cabin for Landfear and Oathmeal, and he's making my world. So he's in the process of making it. So pretty much, if you think this set's like, I guess, decent, because I made it in a couple hours, he's spending like months on this one. If you ever watch like Conan
That's exciting.
or Jimmy Fallon or any like the late night talk shows, think of that, but in VR chat, like just like that massive scale of like all the cool sets and stuff like that. So I'm getting that made in VR chat.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That sounds so awesome.
Yeah, and then maybe next time I'll see you. Maybe I'll
that's
see you
so
guys. Yeah, it's gonna be a huge production because like I'll have like actual like audience and people and like so like for example, it has like a curtain in the middle, so like you come out from a stage and you'd be like, hey, this introducing RoseDoodle, and then you come through like the curtains and be like, hi.
Yo.
You know.
Oh, that sounds so awesome.
Yeah. So I have a lot of plans, and then because it's VR chat, you can like turn on and off sets, right? So like just like how I did here, I can turn off like the 2 seats and the 6 seats. So like I can change the set to whatever I want. So I can have like 2 chairs, 6 chairs, a podcast table, whatever I want. So I have a lot of big plans in the near future. But yeah. But before I go, wow, that's quite the view. Anyway. Sorry, it's just when I turn around and I see this giant thick mama, I'm just like, geez Louise, like, I'm sorry.
Very thick mama.
I'll give each of you a hug and some head pats if you would like to. You don't have to, but I'm always down for it.
Oh, I'm up for a hug.
Thanks.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for coming to TeaLeafions. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
It's been lovely to come back.
Of course.
Oh my, a new sub. Does this mean you've come to play with me?
Oh, you gotta pick me up.
Oh, I'll pick you up. Oh, I'm a strong, independent woman.
I just listened to once.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was so
Of
fun.
course. Thank you so much for stopping by. Like I said, I'm only just met you, but you know I had a great time. So thank you.
Oh, I had a great time too. I can't wait to come back.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll definitely have some adventures together. You know, it doesn't have to be in a talk show.
Cool as hell.
Yeah.
Of course. RoseDoodle, thank you so much for stopping by.
BuffPup. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Here's a hug.
Hell yeah.
And then Flashy, thank you so much for coming back again. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me again.
Of course, anytime. Thank you so much.
Cutie.
Appreciate. Yeah, thank you. I'll just say one last thing. Thank you to everybody again. Some people in the chat were asking this. So every time that someone subs to me or anything like that, they're very like whose voice that was. It's Ilimani. If any of you guys know who Ilimani is, she plays VR chat. She's a voice actress.
Oh yeah.
And I commissioned her to do my alerts. So every time that someone subs, it's like, oh my, a new sub. It's like very very spicy, you know. So anyway, we're gonna toss this stream to somebody else. So Pixel wants to hug you, by the way.